Every predator has a menu list. Some prey looks perfect, easy, meaty, worth the chase. But in the wild, wanting something and being able to afford it are two very different things. The price tag on some animals isn't measured in effort or a few scratches. It's measured in your life. The wild has done the math, and the answer is always the same. Walk away. Today we're counting down 5 animals written off the menu entirely. Not by choice, by consequence. You might find it surprising to learn that one of the few animals on Earth with no natural predators is a lizard. Yeah, a lizard, but not just any lizard. The largest lizard on the planet and one of the most dangerous reptiles that has ever existed. This is the Komodo dragon, a creature that lives on a small group of islands in Indonesia. And among those islands lies one that even carries its name, Komodo Island, a place so defined by this animal that nothing else dares claim it. The Komodo dragon is the largest living lizard on Earth. Adults can stretch up to 10 feet in length and weigh over 150 pounds. They look prehistoric because in many ways, they are. For decades, scientists believed the Komodo dragon's deadly reputation came from its saliva, a toxic soup of bacteria so virulent that a single bite would condemn a victim to a slow, infected death over days. It was a compelling story. It was also wrong. Venom researchers at the University of Melbourne, Australia, discovered that Komodo dragons have venom glands in their lower jaws, glands that produce a sophisticated cocktail of anticoagulant compounds. When a dragon bites, these venomous proteins flood into the wound, preventing blood from clotting, rapidly dropping blood pressure, and sending the victim into shock. The prey doesn't fight for days. It collapses, often within minutes to hours, depending on the size of the animal and the severity of the bite. Komodo dragons have been documented taking down water buffalo, animals that can weigh over half a ton and carry horns sharp enough to split a tree. The dragon doesn't need to overpower them. It bites once, then it waits. It can afford to. The Komodo dragon can detect the scent of a dying animal from up to 5 miles away, using its forked tongue as a chemical sensor. While that buffalo staggers and slowly succumbs, the Komodo dragon is already lining up its next appointment. It might bite 2 or 3 other animals in the same afternoon, then simply track them all down in sequence as they fall. Most people think of eagles as noble, beautiful birds of prey. They soar high, they look majestic, they end up on flags and coins. The harpy eagle does not care about your flags. The harpy eagle is the most powerful raptor in the Western Hemisphere. And it isn't close. This bird, which roams the rainforests of Central and South America, looks like a hawk that never stopped growing. Standing nearly 3.5 feet tall with a wingspan stretching up to 7 feet, a large female harpy eagle weighs up to 20 pounds of pure predatory muscle. The harpy eagle's rear talons measure up to 5 inches in length, the same size as the claws of a grizzly bear. Let that sink in. A bird, a flying animal, carrying the equivalent of grizzly claws attached to feet that can exert over 400 pounds of crushing force per square inch. And it hunts from silence. Like an owl, the harpy eagle has a facial disc, a concave arrangement of feathers around its face that works like a satellite dish, funneling sound waves directly into its ears. It can hear a monkey shift its weight on a branch 100 feet away through a dense rainforest canopy. By the time that monkey sees the eagle, it's already too late. The harpy's shorter wings, an evolutionary adaptation for weaving through forest canopy, allow it to reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour while threading through trees. It hunts monkeys, sloths, large iguanas, and even macaws. It has been documented carrying prey that weighs nearly as much as itself. Researchers have recorded it snatching full-grown howler monkeys mid-leap between branches. The most powerful bird of prey on Earth, a predator that nothing in the Americas dares to challenge. The Amazon is arguably the most dangerous ecosystem on Earth. It is home to anacondas that can swallow a deer whole, black caimans that ambush from the waterline, and enough venomous species to fill a medical textbook. And yet, nestled among all of that danger, the jaguar has no natural predators. Zero. You might expect animals like the green anaconda, capable of constricting at nearly 1,000 pounds of pressure, to occasionally test a jaguar. And yes, confrontations happen. But the outcomes are telling. When a jaguar engages, the fight tends to end quickly and decisively. Not because the jaguar is necessarily the strongest animal in the jungle, but because of where and how it bites. The jaguar has the most powerful bite of any big cat on Earth, generating roughly 1,500 pounds per square inch of force. That's more than a lion, more than a tiger. But it's not the raw power that makes the jaguar so uniquely lethal. It's the target. Unlike lions or tigers that go for the throat and wait for strangulation, the jaguar bites through the skull. It aims directly for the back of the head, driving its canines between the vertebrae or through the temporal bone, instantly destroying the brain or severing the spinal cord. The kill is instantaneous. No struggle, no drawn-out chase. One bite and the prey simply stops. This technique evolved in an environment where prey animals, caimans, for example, are covered in armored hide. The jaguar had to develop a strategy that bypassed the armor entirely. The result is the most mechanically efficient killing bite in the big cat world. A predator that nothing in the Amazon dares to challenge. Not the anaconda, not the black caiman, not any of the countless killers that share that dark jungle with it. In an ecosystem entirely built on killing, the jaguar is the one thing nothing hunts back. The moose looks like something nature assembled in a hurry. Big, awkward, almost comical. Easy to underestimate. That would be a mistake. Despite its appearance, the moose is powerful, unpredictable, and notoriously short-tempered. It doesn't hunt, but it doesn't hesitate to react when it feels threatened, whether it's another animal, a human, or even a vehicle. There are documented cases of moose charging cars with enough force to cause serious damage, not out of hunger, but out of irritation. That's the moose, up to 1,500 pounds of raw power balanced on long, towering legs and capable of turning in an instant. A mature bull stands over 6 feet tall at the shoulder, and that's before you factor in the antlers, which can span another 6 feet on their own. What looks ungainly at a distance is, up close, simply enormous. And it is fast. Despite its size, a moose can hit 35 miles per hour in a sprint. Faster than most people expect, and faster than most people can react. It doesn't telegraph a charge the way other large animals do. One moment, it's standing still. The next, it's already moving toward you. Its kick is just as dangerous as its size suggests. A single strike carries enough force to crack open a car door and cause serious injury to anything standing in its path. Wolves, one of the few predators that even attempt to hunt moose, know this well. A pack will rarely target a healthy adult. When they do hunt moose, they look for the young, the old, or the injured. The healthy ones are simply too costly a fight. The moose doesn't need to be a predator. It just needs to make engaging with it not worth the risk. And it does that exceptionally well. If you ask most people what the most feared predator in the ocean is, they'll say the great white shark. Movies, documentaries, beach warning signs. The great white is the icon of ocean terror. And then you learn about orcas, and you realize the great white is just a very large fish with good PR. The orca, or killer whale, though it is technically a dolphin, is the undisputed apex predator of every ocean on Earth. No exceptions. Nothing hunts an orca. Not great white sharks, not sperm whales, not anything that swims. And recent documented events have made it even clearer just how dominant these animals really are. In 2017, researchers began noticing something strange off the coast of South Africa. Great white sharks, the apex predators of those waters, animals that had dominated False Bay for decades, were vanishing, not migrating seasonally, vanishing. Dead great whites began washing ashore with their livers surgically removed, their pectoral fins bearing distinctive bite marks. Within a few years, the great white population in some of South Africa's most famous shark waters was effectively gone. This is not an isolated quirk. Orcas regularly hunt prey that would make other predators turn and swim the other direction. Their menu includes fish and squid at the small end, but scales all the way up to sea lions, penguins, other dolphin species, and even blue whales. The largest animals to have ever lived on this planet. A coordinated pod of orcas will work in teams, with some animals corralling prey while others execute attack angles. They share learned hunting techniques across generations. They have culture. They are, by any measure, the most sophisticated predators Earth has ever produced. When great white sharks detect orcas in their area, they don't circle. They don't posture. They flee, sometimes for weeks at a time, abandoning prime hunting territories and leaving entire coastal ecosystems altered in their wake. The animal that Hollywood turned into the symbol of oceanic terror is, in reality, terrified of the dolphin family. Nothing in any ocean considers an orca a potential meal, because nothing in any ocean has survived trying.